just going to start off by saying that I'm not giving any legal opinions whatsoever. This is just your local nobody giving his 2 cents. We're just going to get straight to the point. When it comes to home defense, what are you using, right? And no, porch lights are not going to scare the criminals off. For starters, you should have a security system on your house. I just recommend everybody to have something like that, but it's not just, a security system. That's not going to stop all criminals. I have cameras too, which also do not stop criminals. Just to, throw that out there. That's just like a barrier to help you out. Just to state the obvious, criminals, they get caught on camera all the time. All they do is hide their face. Whatever vehicle they're using is probably stolen anyway. They're not going to care about the cameras very much. Now, all that does is just provide evidence. You still want it. It's not the cameras are useless. You still want the camera because that, provides evidence for police officers when you tell them, hey, my house got robbed. There's the evidence of them coming and breaking in. When it comes to the security system, that is more of like an alarm for you. Now, it's like I have one that's going to, calls the police automatically, like if you don't answer it within a certain amount of time. By the time that security system runs through all the steps it's supposed to do and calls the police officer, it might be like 10 minutes before the police officer even gets to your house. Even more if you live in a liberal city that defunded the police. So yeah, that's not really something you should depend on. You should have it for this one other extra layer of protection, but I use it more as a warning system. For instance, all 4 corners of my house have cameras on them. As soon as somebody walks by, I get an alert. If there's criminals coming to my door, I would have already known that because I see them on the camera. It alerted me. That would give me time to prepare, right? So if they try to break the glass, immediately sets off the alarm. They pop open the door, sets off the alarm. On top of me knowing that they're there, I'll also know when they got in. But by the time they got in, I'm already prepared with my gun. So that's what brings me to this point. What are we using for self-defense? You're gonna see a lot of people talk about the AR-15, the gun that the media hates, the president hates, the one that a certain aisle of politicians wants to take away from you, but they want their security to have something like this to protect themselves. But when it comes to you, no, you should not have it because there are bad apples out there. So that just take away from everybody. That's a whole nother point though. Besides that, this right here is a fantastic weapon. This is my AR pistol with a 30 round magazine. When it comes to pistols, there's a certain amount of things you can't do before this becomes a felony. So one thing is you can't put a stock on it unless you pay the $200 tax stamp to the ATF, which of course, this is extremely dangerous. But if you pay the ATF $200, it's not so dangerous anymore. Isn't that funny? So instead of the tax stamp, I have a pistol brace, and yeah, the ATF is going after those, but there's an injunction right now, so they can suck it. This has a red dot and a flashlight. This is really all you need. Now I put a little angled foregrip because you can't have a full-on foregrip. That's a felony. You have to get the angled one. Unless you give the ATF $200, then you can have a foregrip on it. With this, I say this is the perfect setup. Unless you have one of these, I would suggest you put a suppressor on this because the AR pistols, this is a 10-inch barrel. There are some with 7-inch barrels, which are even more concussive, but this is extremely concussive. Like, yes, some people make the argument that you want it to be concussive because it'll disorientate the criminals, but you know who else is going to disorientate? It's going to disorientate you while you're shooting. You holding this, you're going to be disorientated. You are probably going to lose your hearing. When it comes to being inside of a enclosed area, fire one of these off at whoever's trying to break in and do you harm, you're probably going to blow your eardrums out. Again, this comes back to my security system and then, my cameras. By the time the criminals already get in, I would have already had plenty of time to get these. I have this gun sitting in a specific spot in my house that's easy to get to, and then I also have this sitting right above it. So before the criminals can even have a chance to get in, I would just slap these on. Boom, I'm ready to shoot this. The main point of this video is when it comes to self-defense or when it comes to your home defense, is this a good idea? Using this gun, is this a good idea? In most situations, I'm gonna say no. No, this is not a good idea. I would highly suggest you don't use this if you live in a populated area. You have a bunch of neighbors, you got neighbors across the street, alongside you, behind you. I would suggest you don't use it. Because this right here, obviously, we've heard this 1,000 times, the 5.56 and the 223, this cuts through drywall like it's butter, okay? That'll go right through your house. It'll go right through and right into the neighbor's house and probably into another one of their rooms. So it'll go through layers of walls. Seriously, if you have neighbors close by, don't use this unless you know where they are specifically and what angle to shoot at. And it's just so much to think about. Maybe I don't know. I've never shot like hollow points, like 223 hollow points or anything. But so maybe that's different. I can't say for sure. But this is a perfect gun if you live out in the woods, if you live out in the country and your neighbors are really far away, which, look, to be honest, most of us don't live like that. When it comes to any firearm, I'd prefer, like for home defense, to have a red dot and a flashlight, but you keep both your eyes open. The sight itself completely blurs into the background, and then really all you see, you just see your entire surroundings and you see a red dot. If you're in the dark, and you have a very blinding light. Now, most people, they hold their gun like this. Now, for like this setup, I actually have my fingers like kind of wrap around the back of this angled grip, and then I have my thumb wrap around like this. Now, yes, it looks funny, but this actually works pretty well because the gun's not very heavy anyway. And then I have my thumb just pressing against the light. So if I aim up, see? This is nice because this light is extremely blinding. Like, this is the Surefire. This is X300 turbo light. This is very nice, very bright light. If you're in a dark room and this is you know, on and facing you, you're just seeing white. This is extremely bright, so that also helps disorientate. Now, when it comes to disorientating, this is a perfect combo for you and not the criminal. So if you have these on, I got these on Amazon, things like 60 bucks or something, Impact Sport. You put on one of these headphones, and then if you're firing this, knowing how concussive this is, and you're facing this light at them, they're literally going to be blind and deaf while you're shooting at them. Like, it's absolutely insane how devastating this combo is. But again, if you live in a area that you don't have too many neighbors. When it comes to this is only in my basement because I have another gun that's in for the other parts of the house, because again, like most people, I have lots of neighbors. So if they were in my basement, which is pretty much where I live. Now, yes, this isn't my mom's house. I do live in a basement. This isn't my mom's house. This is my house. My basement's a game room. So this gun I would only use for the basement because I know I'm underground. If I shoot through the wall, I'm just gonna hit some dirt. The gun that I recommend for the people that live, you know, that aren't in their basements currently, like me. Yes. This is a Glock 17 with an extended mag. This one's a 26 round mag, I think, inside of an MCK conversion kit. Now, why do I pick this? Now, a lot of people have handguns, right? When it comes to home defense, this has the exact same thing that the AR-15 has, except this is far less concussive. I want to be clear, this is extremely loud. If you're in an enclosed area, this is going to be extremely loud. This is going to hurt your ears just like that would. But this one, you might have a chance of recovering some hearing, which, I mean, pretty high chance. If you have one of these right next to your gun, then you should be fine. The reason why I pick this, the Glock 17, doesn't 9mm go through 4 walls as well? Yes, it does. 9mm does also rip right through drywall like it's butter as well. What I shoot out of this is a hollow point. This is a 9mm hollow point by Ammo Incorporated. This is it right here, Ammo Incorporated. Now, I don't know if this is a good company or not. I'm sure someone in the comment section is going to be like, oh, that the company's trash. Well, you know what, man? You might have some trash to talk about the velocity or the ballistics of it, whatever. If someone gets hit by this, it's going to hurt. Okay, that's simple as that. It's gonna hurt. And Glock shoots just about any ammo pretty well, so I don't have to worry about anything jamming up. If you're gonna use a gun for home defense, I seriously recommend you go to the range and you shoot that gun a lot, get really familiar with it, so when the time comes, you're not, there's no surprises. And also try to do rapid fire of your hollow points to make sure your gun runs it pretty well without jamming up. Because I had a Sentry Arms, the MP5 clone. You try to run hollow points, it jammed up like every other bullet. It's ridiculous. Make sure your gun can run it well. Now, why do I pick hollow points? Hollow points, as we all know, expands when it hits the target, which some people say, oh, it explodes out the other side. Maybe. I've learned from this one, this doesn't even come out the other side. The whole point of the hollow point is so that the bullet can stay inside the target and doesn't hit anything past him. I did a test unintentionally. I shot this little stuffed animal. The bullets went in and they didn't come out the other side. I shot it with these rounds. Now you are gonna see the bullets did come out. Like if I show you this, there's a hole here, there's a hole there. I was shooting it with other rounds too, just to see what happened with those. The 9mm FMJs, they just flew right through like nothing, but the hollow points, they stood in. The bullets did not come out. This is a hollow point. See, the bullet went in, enter, nothing. The bullets are in here. And this is nothing. This is just some stuffing. This is some soft nothing, right? And the hollow point still expanded and stood inside this. So now I can't say definitively that it'll do the same thing with your drywall. I can't say that for sure. I'm not going to tell you that. You know, I probably should go to the range and probably go somewhere, set up a piece of drywall and see if the hollow point stops there. And if it does, that would be awesome. I probably will do that. I'll go out somewhere, shoot the drywall and see if it stops. If it stops it, then I'll come back and tell you for sure in another video. If this gets any views, I doubt I'm going to get like more than 20 views out of this. Now, the MCK conversion kits, they're pretty cheap. This right here, the glass breaker thing, this is just for show. I only got it because this looks cool. I'm probably never gonna actually use it, actually, you know, try to break some, like, no, I do have to get a red dot for this eventually, but for now, I am just rocking the iron sights. When it comes to home defense, I strongly recommend you use something that isn't gonna go through 4 layers of wall and keep going, possibly hurt somebody. Again, you heard me say it a bunch of times already. This, if you live in an area that's crowded, you have a lot of neighbors, definitely go with this. And if you live out in the country, or if you have a neighbor on a specific side and you know where not to shoot, definitely the big boy right here. This is definitely, I love this thing. This thing's a beast. Again, just prepare for the concussiveness. I highly suggest you wear one of these. Again, have a security system that, you know, gives you updates if somebody crosses, so at least you know ahead of time, and it gives you some time to prepare before they start trying to break in. Because remember, these will help you out in the moment of, you know, what's happening. The cops, they're gonna get there afterwards. You can't be like certain people and fully depend on the police and depend on the government, okay? The government, the police, they will be there for the after, unless it turns into a hostage situation. Either way, now when it comes to price, this is a little pricey, nothing crazy. This is a Diamondback AR pistol. I want to say this one ran me, I think it was $715 for this. Got the SB Tactical brace on it at the Magpul angled foregrip, and then this Surefire light, so this was probably around $250, almost maybe $300. I can't remember the exact price of this, but the light was pretty expensive. And the Hollow Sun red dot was also a little expensive. This one, I think this one was like $280 for the red dot. That's pretty much my entire setup. But then also this for like if I'm upstairs. If I just so happen to be maybe listening to music, I wasn't paying attention to my phone, they're coming up to my house, they're breaking down the door now, maybe I don't have time to go and get this little guy right here, or maybe I don't have time to go get this one. That's when I have my last resort, which would then be my first resort if I don't have time to go get the other ones, which is my regular old Glock 19 with a 17 mag. Give me a couple extra rounds. Yeah, you can call me paranoid. I like to consider myself being prepared, right? Because you just never know. Nowadays, people are crazy. I wouldn't say that has a lot to do with the fatherlessness, but that's just my opinion. Either way, and this is a great gun. You see, I make a lot of funny, yeah, whatever, to certain people. I make a lot of like trashy videos, just like trashing on Glocks all the time, but I actually do depend on them. They're actually a really good gun. Most of those videos are just a joke, and I realize after making those, I realize just how many people genuinely hate them. It's a very dependable gun, a little cheap. Not as cheap as a High Point. The High Point is garbage in my opinion. Cheaper than what I have. I love 1911s. I love a lot of different guns, but they're expensive. I don't want to use that for self-defense, and then you have to give it to the police, and then they take it for who knows how long, if you even ever get it back. It's just not worth it. I mean, there's plenty of people that carry staccatos like this right here. Like, don't get me wrong, this is an awesome gun. Like, this is probably one of my best shooting guns I have, but it comes at a price. This is just a plain old staccato. It doesn't have no flashlight, no red dot. The 2011P is what this one is, and this gun, I think this was like $2,400 I paid for this. I love this gun, but I would never carry this. God forbid I ever have to use this on somebody. That would suck, giving this to the police, because they're gonna have to take this for evidence. Giving this $2,500 or $2,400 pistol, which a lot of people pay way more because they get options and stuff, but this would suck to lose. You can't just go to any regular gun store and just buy these brand new. You have to buy these online so they can make it for you. Again, a lot of money. Come on, man. These are a dime a dozen. You go to any gun store, they're gonna have a Glock. If the police officers confiscate this for evidence, I really don't care that much. I can just go to any gun store and buy another one. I mean, I'm gonna find these anyway. Everyone knows the Full Metal Jacket's gonna go right through drywall. Everyone knows there's situations, but I don't hear that many people talking about hollow points in drywall, which I should make a video. Again, I am not saying that the drywall will stop it. All I'm saying is that this stuffed animal did. I will do another video of me shooting drywall like how it is in a house, like the drywall on one side, then you have a little space with the, with the structure, and then you have the drywall on the other side. Just typical of how it's built in a house. I want to shoot that, and if it goes through both layers and comes out the other side, I'll let you know. If it's stops, you know, inside, that would be awesome. I will definitely let you know. To my like 15 or 20 viewers that are going to see this video, I will let you know. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, please comment. If you can share your thoughts. I might be wrong about some things. I might have missed some things. Feel free to leave it down below. Trash me if you want. I don't care. I'm pretty sure most of you are already logged off and I'm just talking to myself. So I'm just going to end it right here.